Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so let me start off this video by saying Jermaine Franklin is much better than I think a lot of people were giving him credit for. He was 21-0 coming into this fight, and for good reason. I know a lot of people were slating him because of his level of opposition. At times he didn't look great. But as I said a few weeks ago, and as I said only a couple of days ago, that maybe Jermaine Franklin is one of these kind of fighters that will rise to the occasion. He will fight to the level of his opponent. And he did himself no injustice tonight whatsoever. And listen, if you're a hardcore Dillian Whyte hater, you'll probably say that Jermaine Franklin won the fight or a draw, whatever. Anyway, speaking of which, one of the judges had this fight a draw. Can you believe that? But Dillian was starting off okay, a little bit slower for my liking, and Jermaine Franklin was using the jab very, very well. Excellent jab, really was. And you could see that he didn't come there just to get a payday and lie down. He came there to win. Now, Dillian's body shots, though, this is why they call him the body snatcher. The body shots were brutal. The left hook to the body was nasty. It really was. And Jermaine Franklin's chin held up. I mean, especially right at the very, very end, when Dillian caught him with that left hook and wobbled him right the way back to the ropes. Followed up with a right hand on Jermaine Franklin, and Franklin took it and fired back of his own. People don't usually take Dillian Whyte's left hook and stay on their feet, but he did. Now, both fighters were very tired toward the end there, and at times I felt, as the fight was progressing, Dillian was almost playing with him, a little bit overconfident. I think that's what it was. A little bit overconfident, he found it a little bit easy, and I'm thinking, please don't be like a Povetkin Part 1, where he gets like a little bit lapsadaisical and ends up walking onto something. While Jermaine Franklin didn't look like he was a huge puncher, although he did actually rock Dillian at one point. I think that was in at the end of round number 8, maybe number 9, something like that, I forget now. But it is what it is. You're going to get hit, right? And I was a little bit unsure about Buddy McGirt's tactics at times, because I felt that Dillian's tactics of going to the body was working well. Jermaine Franklin's elbows were coming in, and all Dillian had to do was feint to the body, then go to the head. But Buddy McGirt kept telling him, stick to your jab, push him back with the jab, just use the jab. He weren't telling Dillian to exert himself or anything like that. I mean, maybe because it was a 12-round fight, Buddy McGirt, he wasn't too sure where Dillian's gas tank was, and he wanted to ensure of the victory. Maybe that's what it was. But I mean, I would prefer to have seen Dillian being a bit more aggressive. I think that Jermaine Franklin could have been there for the taking for Dillian had he just went for it. But at the same time, because Jermaine Franklin is that much shorter, whenever you're fighting a shorter fighter, a lot of you will know this already, it's quite difficult, especially when they're stooping low and going side to side, moving their torso and their head from side to side, and at times it's quite difficult to land clean shots. So you're pretty much hitting them on like the top of the head, which of course can end up breaking your hand. But either way, I thought it was a solid performance from Dillian, very calm performance from Dillian. I like it. Very good performance. That's not the kind of performance that will give me great confidence, and I'll be honest here, if he was to fight Joshua next, it isn't. I'd like to see Dillian have another fight. I'm sure that's not what he wants. He's going to want to fight Anthony Joshua. Joshua's going to want to have Dillian Whyte next, and that's probably the fight that's going to happen. But maybe this was just a getting to know each other process kind of fight for Dillian and Buddy McGirt. It could have been that. It really could have been. And the next fight with like the second full training camp, they'll do a lot more. But either way, Jermaine Franklin, 21-0 coming into this fight. He's now 21-1. But you know what? I think he should come back. Why not? There's plenty of fights out there for Jermaine Franklin. He did himself no injustice whatsoever. Anyway, congratulations to the body snatcher, Dillian Whyte. I'll grab him on a podcast hopefully next week. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.